Okay, that was about an hour and a half drive from Niagara Falls to this rest area, although I have another 40-minute drive to a Love's in Bath, New York. But if this one is okay, I'll just stay here. It's already 10 o'clock and I would like to catch up on sleep. Passenger cars. There are no trucks here. There are 4 trucks and 1 car, 2 cars. You know what? I'm just going to stay here tonight. I'm not even going to go to Love's because Love's is going to be busy and this is much better. Doesn't sound very loud, and I'm just going to park at the end. Okay, so I don't know where I am. I know I'm an hour. Well, let me check because I have an hour drive, I think, to the hike tomorrow. I'm doing 2 state parks tomorrow. Let me figure out which ones I'm doing, then I'll let you know, and I'll let you know where I am. Okay, I am in Mount Morris, the rest area that is near Mount Morris, New York. And as you can see, it is your standard rest area with lots of like brochures and information and things. It's really cool. Restrooms, truck stop. Doesn't sound too loud. I don't know, let me see. Hang on a minute. Let me turn this off here. Again, the freeway noise. I'm lucking out here on this East Coast rest areas. The freeway noise will drown out the trucks. I can also use my sound machine and close the vent in the back. Okay, and I'm going to Letchworth State Park and Watkins Glen State Park. And both of those have very similar hikes to Hocking Hills, like lots of ledges and gorges, and lots of like really kind of wooded hikes. That's what I see online. That's what the interwebs tells me. So I have a couple hikes, I think 3 hikes, totaling probably about 10 miles total. And it's just a rest day. And I think I'm going to do laundry tomorrow. I'm going to go park up somewhere nearby, maybe in Syracuse, I think it is. In Syracuse to call Harriet. I don't know, I have to look. I had it planned to find a Starbucks in the main town, so I think it's Syracuse. I'll go find a laundromat, or a laundrette as we call in England, and that's it. So it is 10 o'clock. I am not driving any further. Executive decision. I'm going to park up. My van is nice and clean. Everything has been put away, and I am finally just going to spend the whole night looking at this parking lot. So enjoy. It's like the videos they used to have on like at 2 a.m. on the TVs in other countries, like in Germany, when people can't sleep, they put cameras on the front of trains and they just let it run for hours and hours, and people would just watch it like hypnotized because they can't sleep. So this is what this whole video is going to be, of just this parking lot. I'm just kidding. So Letchworth State Park and Watkins Glen State Parks tomorrow. Very excited. Both have been recommended. So this whole East Coast section, apart from like 2 or 3 really like super touristy things I'd like to do, like the Ben & Jerry's graveyard and like the ice cream factory, and some other like cool stuff that I've always wanted to see. Like my life is not complete without it. But everything else, all of the outdoor stuff, all of the mountain bike parks I'm going to, which I think I'm going to like 7 mountain bike parks or 6 mountain bike parks in the next 2 weeks until next weekend, which is super exciting. So I'll be mountain biking not tomorrow, but the day after, and the day after that, and then Acadia National Park, and then mountain biking again 3 times before I fly back home and then come back out here to continue. So yeah, super excited. They've all been recommended, and so far the recommendations have been great. So yeah, this is kind of like you can choose my adventure. I should do that. I should be like, you pick like 5 places for me to go within like a 500-mile radius or something, and I will drive. I have a heavy right foot. Okay, enough of the parking lot. What do you guys think about these Jeep pickup trucks? I didn't like them at first. A friend of mine had one and I was like, oh, that sucks. Why would you buy a Jeep that doesn't look like a Jeep? But they're kind of growing on me. I've seen a lot of really cool rigs. You can't really see it, but the guy walking the dog over there, you can't see it at all, but he has a gray Jeep pickup truck. And when I've seen the ones that are turned into like really cool camping rigs and they're high profile, they're high off the ground, I kind of like them. I kind of like them better than a Land Rover Defender. But of course, Harriet wants a short school bus, and she wants me to like make it into like Sanrio, like Hello Kitty with like gaming, like Splatoon and Animal Crossing and Roblox and Miitopia and Minecraft, and she just wants, you know, all of that to just basically like implode inside. And then I'll have my tiny little like 1 foot by 1 foot corner of the couch where I get to sit, which is fine. So yeah, we'll build one. Maybe next year or the year after we'll build a van together. But I'm just wondering, curious what you think of these. I'll put a picture on the screen of what I'm talking about. These Jeep pickups. I don't know. I'm not a pickup truck person, but I do want to make just like an overlanding 4-wheel drive kind of like rig, you know, so I don't have to take the humunga van everywhere. That I can kind of go more into a kind of a backcountry thing. But this is years down the road. Who knows? They may come up with a different vehicle by then. Okay, enough talking. If I have time in the morning, there are picnic tables. You cannot see anything. There are picnic tables, and I will make a cup of tea in the morning. I am in no hurry. I'm going to sleep in a little bit, make a cup of tea outside, and yeah, get on the road. So, okay. I got to unplug my fridge. I always forget to unplug my fridge because it will drain the battery. Let me just double check here. I'm talking for minutes and minutes and minutes. Okay, let me turn the van on. Make sure that the battery, I always have this like on the battery. When I bought the van, it had 50,000 miles on it. I have basically driven 85,000 miles in 2.5 years in this van, only in the United States. Pretty damn good. I do not want to know how much I've spent on gas. Actually, it was only like $1.67 in 2021. And now it's like $3.69. Actually, New York is $3.69, which is on par with other Midwestern states and just a little bit more expensive, like 20 cents more than, well, actually 30 cents more than Texas. I thought it'd be $5 a gallon here, but that is West Coast. New York is actually pretty good up here in the upstate. Okay, I'm going to bed. I will see you tomorrow at Watkins Glen and Letchworth State Parks. Good rainy morning. Executive decision. I am going to backtrack an hour to the Eternal Flame waterfall. It's a natural gas flame. And then I'm going to come back to Letchworth State Park, which is right here. Mount Morris is the town that I'm in upstate New York, and there's like a ton of prisons up here too. So there'll probably be signs like, you know, hikers may also be escaped inmates. That's what they have in Texas. So when I was somewhere, I was in one of the Corpus Christi parks, and it said, you know, watch out for hikers. They may not be hikers. Anyway, so after that I go to Watkins Glen State Park. So probably a rainy day all around, which is fine. I'll be hiking in gorges and waterfall areas. And then, like I said, I'm just going to go to park up in, it's probably somewhere near Albany. So anyway, so that's that. So that's my day. And yeah, pretty drive. I didn't really get to see anything last night because it was so dark. But upstate New York is very, very pretty. Very green. And lots of corn. More corn. Corn everywhere. Anyway, so yeah, so I've got about an hour. I'll get there about 8 o'clock, and it's only a 1.5 mile hike, and then I'll backtrack. So it's fine. I'm glad I didn't stay too close to Buffalo. But Mount Morris seems to have a ton of random cars parked at 5 in the morning doing drugs. I was at the rest area, and like a car pulls up 4 this morning blasting music. I moved down the other end, but I was like, dude, way too early for that. All right, rainy morning, great turnout. So all trails will send you to the trailhead, but this is the Eternal Flame parking in just this like massive gravel lot. So I assume it's quite busy. Chestnut Ridge Park Eternal Flame Trail, okay. This is cool. Yeah, I forgot about this and I just remembered last night. I was like, oh shit, there's somewhere I wanted to go that's really cool. So I'm just gonna park up. I always back in because it's easier to get out in haste. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, this is just a massive freaking gravel lot. So I guess it is busy maybe. I don't know. Maybe they do other events here. Maybe this is a fairground. All right, backing up, and parking in a puddle. This is fine. All right, yes, it's only 1.5 miles. So I'm about half a mile from the trailhead. So it should probably take me about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. So, okay. So I'm gonna get geared up because I am not in a rain jacket. So I need to put that on. Thankfully, the rain has stopped. There's one other person, local New Yorker. And this is it, the Chestnut Ridge Park Eternal Flame Trailhead. So what this is, okay, So work in progress. Eternal Flame Trail Detour. Ward Hill Trail. Okay, cool. So yeah, so this is it. It's not very far. Do not climb on ravine or waterfalls. And it's open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. And that's it. Okay, so it's only half a mile, apparently, one-way distance. So there's a whole bunch of other stuff. This is cool. This is really pretty. Rain stopped. It feels really great. It's about 63 degrees. So yeah, let's do this. All right, I am off. First hike of the day. This is the first of 4 hikes, I think. And this is kind of the forgotten hike. So I was going to do 3 hikes. Now I'm doing 4. This is great. Just your average gravel, not too difficult. And gonna go see a little natural gas thing that hasn't, it's like the Fisher-Price version of the Gates of Hell in Turkmenistan. If you don't know what that is, I'll put a picture on the screen. It's crazy. Yeah, that's been burning for 40 years. And this one, I don't know how long it's been burning for. Ooh, I'm in the woods. It's like stupid muddy over here, so be careful. Wear your grippy shoes. Wear your waterproof shoes too. I have Salomon men's because they're wider. I have wider feet. So yeah, Salomon men's hiking boots have been fantastic for me. The women's ones I got, I need to just donate them to my hiking group. I wore them a few times, but they run a bit small, but the men's run more true to size. I knew it. I knew someone would put googly eyes on that thing. Looks like a little droll. It's like the baby flame. Look at the little cute little baby flame. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be like a Zippo lighter that someone just left in the cave. Okay. Does anyone ever, I don't smoke, but does anyone ever have Zippo lighters? Actually, I went to a concert and everybody had like, it was like in, I don't know, not too long ago. And, oh, by the way, this is the detour over here. So not too long ago, and the whole crowd had were holding up the Zippo lighter app on their phone instead of like real Zippo lighters because no one could have any open flames. The detour reconnects to the trail and then you just walk in this creek. So the steps actually lead down into it. And you just follow the creek all the way to the end. And then that's it. So the detour isn't really that much. I've only hiked half a mile, so it's probably only adding a little bit extra. So definitely wear waterproof shoes. It rained a lot, but there's not a lot of water, so I don't think the stream gets any higher than this. And you're basically on some sort of shale. Yeah, this is shale. So pretty easy to walk on. A little bit muddy back there, but this is beautiful. This is great. Nice little walk, and only an hour from my park up. So I'm glad I didn't go further last night. I will go back to Letchworth State Park and then on to Watkins Glen. So this video will be the 3 hikes for upstate New York. So if you go to Niagara Falls, just south of Buffalo is this little hike. So it's a good stopping point to stretch your legs. I think it's a state park. So you should be able to walk your dog on a leash, I'm assuming. I don't know, I'm not a pet parent. Oh my God, a waterfall. No flame. You know something? This is actually pretty magical. This is freaking awesome. You know, it's not often that you go to something you see on Instagram and it's actually better in person. It is quite slippery though. And you're in a waterfall. And there it is. Okay, there it is. As the Bangles said, eternal flame. Oh, this is beautiful. This is really cool. That is pretty awesome. I love nature. You know, this world isn't too bad. Apart from all the shit and crap and wars and horrible people and politics and yeah. So So I have a heart of steel encased in iron most days, but that made me all warm and fuzzy. Oh my God. Okay, I am now walking back to the parking lot. So it's 0.8 miles to get from the parking lot on the detour. So yeah, it's about 1.5 miles. So all trails is about right, even with the detour. Okay, off to the next place. This is actually more magical now that it's raining. And it's like, because everything around me is like wet, damp and moist, which is a terrible word. And then there's fire, just kind of like peeking through and going, hello. I'm not scared of the rain. I'm not scared at all. Okay, I said it would take 40 minutes and it took 40 minutes. There's one other car, but I didn't see any other people. So it is a Thursday, I believe. And school doesn't go back in New York till next week. So thank you, Eternal Flame. What a hidden gem you are. Well worth the extra hour drive out of the way and backtracking. Okay, I'm about 10 minutes away from Letchworth State Park, where there's, it's recommended by everybody that's either from this area or who's been through this area. And then I'm going on to Watkins Glen, and these are like gorges and everything. And it's great that it's raining because it kind of just adds a little bit of effect to it. Not my hair. My hair is in pigtails today. So yeah, it's not a hat day because it's not sunny. It's more of like a headband day. So anyway, this is beautiful. I think like the fact that it's raining kind of adds to this whole upstate New York thing. Tons of corn, thank you. And everyone has really, really pretty gardens here. It is so beautiful. All the roads are like this, so you're just kind of like, feels like you're just like slalom skiing in the van. So you know, it's like, whoa, you know. It's really great. More corn on that side. But yeah, everyone's got beautiful flowers. And being British-ish, I remember in my neighborhood growing up in England, all the old ladies that lived in my neighborhood always had really pretty like rose gardens and stuff. That's like a big thing. Like gardens are a big deal. But everything is like very well manicured here, and all the houses are like really pretty. And yeah, just very different than the other places I've seen. Like very different than the Midwest. It feels like you're in upstate New York. And I've never been up here before, so this is all new for me. Really pretty, and the drives are short today. They're only about an hour between. And then I call Harriet today at 7, 8 o'clock my time because I'm an hour ahead. So I have a little bit extra time to play today, which means I can do laundry. So I do need to do laundry. I do need to start figuring out how to clean my van without getting the back door open. I've got to vacuum all that Nebraska Dust Bowl crap that came in like 3 weeks ago. So yeah, and then I think the mouse is gone. So yeah, so I think we're good on that. More corn, tons and tons of corn. This is really pretty. Okay, so yes, I'm just gonna go on the Eternal Flame hike. Like I always joke, I'm like, yeah, you know, I just, like I said, like my heart is made of steel encased in iron. Just kidding, I'm actually a delight, except when I'm a Scorpio or British. So, but yeah, so anyway, so I'm gonna go do these hikes and then go rest up. So yeah, nice day. Might head into Albany for my call tonight. There's a small town that has a Starbucks. There's 2 Starbucks. One is at the university in the small town, just outside of Albany. That's an option. Or I might head into Albany and go. I got to go to Walmart and get contact solutions. So yeah, I might do like a big town city day later today and just kind of rest up and then call Harriet. So yeah, I slept like a rock last night and catching up. So the flight this time wasn't too bad. Having a later morning flight, and even though I got in at like 10 o'clock at night to Indianapolis, actually wasn't too bad. It's those like super early flights where I only get like 2 or 3 hours sleep and I have to get up at 2 a.m. to go to the airport for 4. Those ones actually aren't too enjoyable, but I'm good. So yeah, tomorrow is mountain biking, so hopefully the rain will clear up. They should still let us go up as long as there's no lightning. I don't mind riding those trails in the rain. It's actually a little bit better because it's not so dusty. So we'll see. If not, then I can always find a hike. I can always hike in the rain. So yeah, so very, very pretty. This isn't the way that so I'm actually backtracking, but this isn't the way that I went to the Eternal Flame hike. I kind of went up and around, and now I'm coming back the other way. So I kind of got a full circle. Again, I could have stayed near Buffalo, but I only drove an hour last night, got to the rest stop. So I don't mind backtracking. It's only like 30, 40 miles down these beautiful roads. So corn, 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 corn. Lots of corn. Okay, almost there. I've got 5 minutes to go. Okay, it's $10 credit card Empire Pass, and this is Letchworth State Park. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I can't fit through either. It's 8.6 clearance, and America's #1 state park, National Public Poll winner. Well, here we go. Okay, let's see what to do. Okay, I don't have an Empire Pass, and I don't know what to do. Okay, this is cool. So I've got 1 mile. This is beautiful. Something's still rattling under my car. Anyway, so I've got my ticket. Put that on there. New York State, nothing, 0 for, like, that's not a heart, that is a 0. This is a heart, that's a 0. Nothing whatsoever for veterans, for state parks in the state of New York. So New York, you suck. But I've got a map. So Letchworth State Park, official map. So I'm gonna do a 4-mile hike and then head on to Watkins Glen. So it's $10 to get in, which is expensive for a state park entry. But I support state parks, although I'm silently judging the fact that New York State doesn't do anything for veterans. It's only if you're over 60, you get a discount. Otherwise, it's $80 for a state park pass for the year. I don't know how many state parks they have in New York. They're all beautiful, I'm sure. And I would definitely have a state park pass if I lived here. But the fact that they don't do a single thing, 0 for veterans. I mean, anyway. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, there's like a covered bridge. This is like all the questionable architecture and questionable, oh, that's cool. Yeah, the questionable structural things from like the olden days, at the beginnings of this country. That's when you start getting to the East Coast, you start seeing houses that are more than like 100 years old, which, you know, being Britishish, something that's 100 years old was like yesterday in England. But things that are, or in Great Britain, but things that are 100 years old here, they're like, oh my God, it's so old, like rub the dust off it. And I'm like, it literally was 3 minutes ago. So, excuse me, like swallowing flies. No bugs out here though, happily. I still probably have to watch for ticks, but it's nothing like Colorado. Colorado was insane with the bugs. Okay, road's a little bumpy. Bumpy road, bumpy road. This is pretty. Okay, enough about me. So they have a museum. I'm gonna go there first. It's busy here. There's a lodge and gift shop. Oh, this is nice. All right, let me find parking in the sun. Prudence was making some weird noise. I think the pedal was scratching or something on the other, on the arm that goes on the front of the bike here. This is the mess. 2 bike rack covers, and somehow the new cover is more sturdy than the previous cover, and I ordered the same one. So this one is actually more sturdy, and I have 2 of these. So I just put the one new one on, and I kept the other 2 on the old bike. Or the hardtail and the fancy bike. Anyway, okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is go to the lodge and then go over to the museum and then go do the 4-mile hike. It's out and back. So it says it takes like 3 hours to Inspiration Point. I don't know. I guess they just account for, you know, like go at the slowest pace, which is understandable. Oh, there's a lavender garden. This is pretty. I know nothing about flowers. I'm not domesticated, but I do enjoy looking at them and hiking through them. This is the lodge in the very New York style design. This is Caroline's courtyard. Really, really pretty flowers. Harriet's favorite color is purple and the other favorite color is pink. And I guess they do weddings and stuff here. I hear waterfalls. Oh my God. Wow. New York, you just like pouring bodies of water into great cavernous abysses. William Pryor Letchworth, humanitarian and conservationist, donated 1,000 acres of his estate. Wow. That's pretty cool. All right, I got a magnet and I'm gonna go over here to the museum. This is beautiful. Ah, Upstate New York, who knew? And the thing is, like, I didn't have a car until I was 21, or I didn't have a license until I was 21, and I got my first car when I was in Japan 3 weeks after I moved there. And so I never drove when I lived in New York City, and obviously this is like 500 miles away. But yeah, I tell you something, van life, or just being able to just road trip, it's been phenomenal. I mean, there's been a few mechanical breakdowns, you know, not anything major on my end because I take really good care of Prudence, but you know, I've really not had any issues. Just one dead battery, like the first 3 months of van life, left my fridge plugged in all night. And then, yeah, didn't really have any other issues. No flat tires, nothing, knock on wood. But there's Prue. This is great. So yeah, for a Thursday, when school is still out, not very busy, and the weather is perfect. And again, because it's raining, it really adds to the ambiance of being up here. It kind of adds to that lushness. Okay, that was a small museum, and now I'm just gonna go do the hike. This is cute, very quiet. A lot of old people in that museum there. All right, hiking trail, where are you at? So they have an obelisk dedicated to the 19th New York Cavalry, 30th Senatorial District in the 1862-63. But the state itself does nothing for veterans when it comes to state parks. I'm gonna write a strongly worded letter and be like, veterans need healing, you know, not just, you know, medical intervention and drugs, you know, prescription medication. We need, you know, we need like actual, you know, healing in nature. I'm a huge advocate for it. Yeah, just makes for a good day, you know, get your endorphins going. It's a good supplement. It's not a cure, but it's a good supplement to things like PTSD and, you know, any ailments that you have, you know, just getting outside in the fresh air. Okay, it looks like we can loop around. There's also a whole like bunch of stairs to go down, and over here it looks like the campsite, and you can't really see it too well, but there's a playground. That's awesome, really pretty, very well kept. So I guess you can just access the trail, like the very top end of the trail, without doing the whole 4 miles out and back from the campground up here. I recommend doing the whole 4 miles out and back. It is mobility accessible. You can go along the road and cut in, so you get to see part of it, but there are some, you know, steep sets of stairs, especially here. But you can actually get around this. There's kind of an gentle incline road just a little bit back there that I'm going to take on the way back. I'm going to go up it. So if you can't go down the stairs, there are banisters, handrails as they call them. Yeah, so you can still get here, not necessarily, you know, the whole way if you need like, you know, specific assistance. Just make sure that you keep your dog on a leash. There was a guy back there, had one dog on a leash and the other dog was not on a leash. And when I'm looking for these trails and evaluating, you know, whether they're, you know, PTSD accessible, PTSD safe actually, and ADA accessible or mobility accessible, I always do look for the way that pet parents handle their pets on these trails. There's some state parks where the rangers won't even enforce it because they get threatened by pet parents, which is bullshit. Have some respect, you know. Your dog needs to be on a leash in pretty much every state park. There's no, except in Austin, because it's Austin and that's the place I avoid nowadays, has the worst pet parents. But there's actually a bike trail where I got attacked by a dog because it was like an off-leash area that is in the middle of a mountain bike trail, which is really bad. Then you have to cross a river with your bike while getting attacked by a pit bull. So I don't recommend that whatsoever. I'll put on the screen the name of the park. But yeah, I was all excited to do the twisty, windy BMX track trail. And lo and behold, I go right into an unleashed dog park, unannounced. And actually, I think people weren't even in the designated area. I think they were just off leash the entire way, because there's no way that the mountain bike park would go through something like that. That doesn't make any sense. It's so unsafe. Anyway, so I ended up having to carry my bike across the river, which was even more dangerous because I can't lift anything and nobody would help me. So this was like 2 years ago. And I was like, I'm never going back there. If I'm going to ride in Austin, I'll ride around Town Lake. It's very, very busy. You're basically like Paperboy trying to dodge people. But everyone follows the rules on that trail, and I can do 20 miles, do 2 loops for 10 miles each. But yeah, and then there's the Veloway, which is just a 3-mile one-way paved cycling track, which is great. I rollerblade on there. But generally, I have no desire and no need to ever go back to Austin anytime soon. Spent a lot of time there. I had a boyfriend there for a couple of years, so did the 180-mile drive back and forth multiple times a week to basically commute. Now I'm at the end of the trail, and I think there's a bridge. Wear your grippy shoes. It's very, very wet and slick here. But these aren't very steep steps. So it's not terribly difficult. And there we go. I'm at the top of the trail. Can't believe how low the water is in all the places I've been, especially some of the places where they used to have massive bodies of water. You can see how low this water is. It's not even anything. That's crazy. And this is the viewing area that is one gigantic mud pit. So it's pretty difficult to walk from. You can't go at the end, so it's hazardous area. So I'm going to go back and up and cut around. I think that's where the guy was going. I don't think he was peeing. So when I was in Big Sky, every time there were so many guys just left their bike on the side of the trail and just came out of the woods zipping up their pants. I'm like, why is everybody peeing? People in Montana drink a lot of water or something? I don't know. I saw 10 guys peeing on one run of my trail. I don't know what was going on. Okay, so I'm going to go down this end of the big mud puddle. Hopefully I can see something. Yeah, this is the other end of the viewing area, so I suggest just walking around. And you can go down the stairs. Oh wow, okay. Very, very, very slippery. Now I'm going up the incline. And so if you can't do the steps, you can come down here and then go back up here, and you get to see just as much. Actually, you have a better height because you get to see the view the entire time. So it's probably maybe 5% incline. It's a little bit of a trek, but slowly you'll be able to get up there. It is actually easier going uphill than downhill when it comes to spine issues.